Pointing at me and Ian and Aaron, E&T, Aaron, L, and me.
E&T?
My last name is Turner.
Oh. I-N-T, A-N-L. Neither of us know ASL.
And we're going to go to hell. Anyway, so, quick little glimpse through the Nerdverse here. The
Nerdverse.
So I've been cheesing for the past couple days. As we sit here, it is about T-minus 10 days until the Solo film comes out in theaters to us plebes. We are not members of the press. We are not directors. We are not famous people. And so we are not allowed to see it beforehand. But that does not mean we have not had a glimpse into people's opinions of Solo, a Star Wars story. All that is to say, the review embargo was lifted today, and over the weekend, after the initial press release, the initial Twitter reactions came out. And so I'm quite pleased. I think the review is, after The Last Jedi came out and it was toxic and people were assholes about it, I'm still expecting that to happen when all the mouth breathers go and see the movie and they freak out about, I'm sure there's going to be like
mouth breathers.
Yeah, with mouth-breathing neckbeards are going to freak out about something, but haven't seen the movie yet. But all,
Mountain Dew!
Code Red!
Dumb bitch.
So, the people who actually, have honed their craft in critiquing film have spoken. And
basically, people Ian respects have spoken.
Yeah, and and,
Well, Ian's listened to people that have spoken that he respects.
Yeah, and so, long story short, I'll go through a couple things that really stood out to me, but, long story short, it's sitting at a 71% on Rotten Tomato right now, and I use Rotten Tomato as a pretty baseline heuristic. For those of you who don't know, IMDb uses crowd-sourced rating, so anyone can go on and rate a movie. So if you, for some reason you're mad at a movie, I don't know what kind of person you have to be.
On your phone, about to review, I love that movie. And then you stub your tongue, like, fuck that movie!
Yeah. You can pay people to give it a downvote. Mm-hmm. And so, with Rotten Tomato, you have to be a certified critic in order to give the actual certified fresh or rotten rating. And so, at the time of this recording, it was 55 or 52% basically it does, you can either vote as good or bad. And then that translates based on the amount of people who vote into a percentage. You can see either the movie was fresh or was rotten. And it's 55 fresh, 20 rotten. And the one, I can read some quick little clips from these reviews on Rotten Tomato, but the one rotten one I read, it was more, okay, so here's the one rotten one. I can see off the top of the fold. The first 6, 5 are good, 1 is bad. No doubt Harrison Ford's Han Solo would casually dismiss this adequately fun origin story with a wink and a wry smile. I mean, that's kind of like a pat on the head, backhanded compliment, but if that's the only bad thing people can say, that it's not as good as Harrison Ford, that's not that bad.
No, not at all.
So you saw a couple comments. How does this make you feel going into seeing the film in a week?
Well, you really like John Campau.
Yeah, so right. John Campia is a movie vlogger that I really respect, and I had Aaron watch his review.
Yeah, so I mean, I saw the tweets and stuff like that about it, and also, I mean, there's a lot of just trailer reactions that we've seen over the last couple months too, which I think corroborate a lot towards what we expect from, let's just say, control variable here, someone that you really respect and who is a diehard Star Wars fan, John Campau, and he pretty much said, Donald Glover killed it.
Yep.
The guy, Aaron Rake.
Yep.
I should be able to remember his last name. That he played him well.
Yeah.
And you could definitely
see him.
You believed it. You weren't that, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
That
was the one thing that would have ruined the movie if it had not worked.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah,
right there, you can sigh of relief. it's a good sign that, like, good for them for releasing it this early, because people get so emotional about Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
You put that out there, and, like, someone could have said he blew it, and that would have tanked their box office.
Oh, totally.
It's like, you can, like, as a Star Wars fan, if you want more movies to come out, you can live with all the people freaking out about Last Jedi. The movie still made $200 million its first weekend.
Yeah.
If you come out and...
And
like,
it's still good.
It's a great movie. It's a great
movie.
movie. Actually, another pundit made a good comment. I was listening to another review, and someone asked him what he liked better, Solo or Last Jedi. And he said that Last Jedi was a better made film, but Solo is a more fun Star Wars story.
Well, that's what I was kind of leaning with. What I liked about what John Campow said about his reaction to it was that Rogue One and Last Jedi were heavy.
Yeah.
Not so much dark, but heavy. And they're definitely
are
dark. I mean, Han Solo died in one of them.
Yeah.
And so...
Well, Force Awakens, but I know what you mean.
Okay, yeah, sorry. But...
Luke Skywalker died.
Yeah, so there's been... we've had a really heavy Star Wars.
Yeah.
And this one, in good Han Solo fashion, is dry...
Squashbuckling.
Squashbuckling?
Swashbuckling.
Squashing his buckles. No more buckles for me. These pants are loosey-goosey. Come on, Chews. And I hear that Chewie, like, steals the show, which is kind of fun to have, like, a guy that doesn't speak anything other than,
yeah,
is one of the best characters in the whole film. So, I think that's really cool, and I'm excited to see Donald Glover because one, he's got his own stuff going on that's throwing him through, the stratosphere.
Yeah,
I wasn't that good on SNL, but still talented in SNL. But no, he's a talented individual, and I'm really excited to see when you have someone to compare someone to, whether it be an actor or a historical person.
I'm talking about Lando as the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Donald Glover playing Landau, or if you have like Ray Charles, Jamie Foxx playing Ray Charles, like dude, that was Ray Charles.
Yep.
Muhammad Ali and Will Smith. I'm like, you were Will Smith. You
were
Will Smith.
Yeah.
You were Muhammad Ali. Like
Daniel Day-Lewis with Lincoln.
Yeah. I didn't watch it.
You've never seen Lincoln? It's really good.
No.
Do you like House of Cards? I can't remember.
Yeah,
dude, it's House of Cards in the 1800s. It's really good.
Sure, okay, and then I'll watch it when I have 4 hours to sit and watch something.
It's a long movie.
Yeah, and I don't ever have 4 hours.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm excited to see that, but also I'm loving the stories that they're starting to come out with now. Yeah. And it's not all episodes, and it's stories coming really back to a little bit more of your universe that you want, where it's like we could have a 007 that's just not a character we're familiar with.
We'll talk about that. Yep.
So I'm excited.
To that point, I'm excited to bring my girlfriend. She's coming to the premiere with me, and I'm not bringing, I'm not just going with a bunch of nerds, and I'm looking for like, what quadrant are they in? Like, it's not great. Like, it's just gonna be a fun, self-contained heist movie, from what I can understand. And if you have the basic story beats of who Han Solo is, it's gonna be a story about family where Han meets Chewie, and that is based on what I'm hearing so far. The best part of this film, you said it was Chewbacca, but you buy the relationship between Han and Chewie. That cannot have been easy to do.
No.
Remember we were talking about last episode about the acting lessons? I think we can all put those worries to bed. If that killed it, and Han reprising Harrison Ford, this new kid, he's like some Lithuanian basketball player who's reprising Chewie, who's taking over for Peter Mayhew. Peter Mayhew, who's played Chewie through Revenge of the Sith, because he's in Revenge of the Sith. He did a lot of the acting in Force Awakens, but they kind of switched back and forth. Anytime like Chewie had to like move around, they got a stunt double. But any of like the facial stuff, the guy this time, he's like younger than us. He's just this 7 foot tall dude who just tried to act.
The Cavaliers didn't want me.
Exactly. He's making more money doing this, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
So that's awesome. Another cool thing I heard is the Millennium Falcon is a character in and of itself. It's not like it has lines, but like it's a center story beat, the Falcon, and so it all kind of comes back to like what I was talking about last episode, that these books are I think they took a lot of story beats from this. The Kessel Run, the Millennium Falcon, how it transferred from Lando to Han, what Han thinks about, that ship as he's trying to become a pilot. Like
the greatest pilot in the galaxy.
Yes, and self-proclaimed. And I just think that's going to be really great. And so, final thought, I guess the consistent negative comment is that the story can be a little clunky. I'm not going to be too worried about that, based on everything that happened behind the scenes. I'm just not going to think
the directors.
Yeah, and then also, even without the directors, it's supposed to be like a biopic, so to speak. Mm-hmm. It's an origin story / biopic up to where he is at in New Hope. So it covers several years.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to smoothly go through.
Yeah,
I'm 8. I'm 12. I'm 16.
Yeah.
I'm 22.
And especially like when people have this notion of what they expect a Star Wars movie to be, like there's no flashbacks until Last Jedi. There's no time jumps until I guess this movie. So that doesn't bother me. I mean, there was only 6 movies, so it's not like they
curious to find out what your overall reaction is when we see it.
I'm excited, man. I actually recently posted my here, actually I'll do my ranking right now. This is my ranking as of last Friday. So my ranking of all Star Wars films is this. Let me straighten my tie. So at number 1, I have Empire Strikes Back. It's pretty common pick. Let me got the list right here. Okay, so number 1, Empire Strikes Back, pretty common pick. By and large, on IMDb, which again is crowdfunded. I think it's like the 8th or 9th best movie of all time. So that's number 1. Number 2, Return of the Jedi. As a kid, that was definitely my favorite by far. Black suit Luke, green lightsaber, just awesome film.
Sexy looking.
Oh yeah,
a lot of sexy.
That's why I primarily try to wear black.
Jedi.
Okay, so now for number 3, I actually have 3A and 3B because I couldn't have the heart to put a prequel film ahead of A New Hope. So 3A is Revenge of the Sith. I love that movie. It's the movie where Anakin becomes Darth Vader. It's a prequel. A lot of people hate that stuff. I don't care. And then 3B is A New Hope, the original Star Wars. 4 is Force Awakens. Honorable mention after 4 is the Clone Wars animated show. It's not on the ranking, but that's where it goes. 5 is The Last Jedi. And again, I'm ranking my favorite things. So just because I say 5 is... Just because I say Last Jedi is 5 doesn't mean that I think it's bad. Like, I saw a tweet today. It was like, my rankings. Star Wars movies I like, at the top. Star Wars movies I don't like, below that. And then all other movies.
Yeah.
So consider that when I say that. And then 6 is Rogue One. And I think 5... And those could switch. Because I want to see how Last Jedi ages. But Rogue One has great moments, but those characters I don't really care about.
Yeah.
And so then after 6 is the Rebels cartoon show, is honorable mention. 7 is Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace, for all its shortcomings, I find it, of all of the prequels, it has the most self-contained story. Like, you can watch it as itself, as a beginning, middle, and a resolution. Characters that are introduced have their arc and then die. Like Maul and Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
And I
There's a big jump, too, between 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, totally. It's just, I really like it. It feels Star Warsy to me. They go to a...
I really liked it.
Yeah, and so, great duel at the end, great middle part with the pod race, Yeah, oh, man. Like, I was having an argument with somebody on Slack at my work, and they're complaining about Phantom Menace. I'm like, dude, they brought pod racers, Darth Maul, and that song.
Yeah.
Like... That's 3 more amazing things than 99.9% of all film, in my opinion. Yeah. Most films bring 0 amazing things.
It's like a saber.
Yeah. And then number 8 is Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones has amazing parts to it, but like...
Great battle scenes.
It does. And it just doesn't age in some parts because it's so... Yeah, like I was telling you, it's the most green screen film of all time. It just... A lot of it is made in 2002, some of the CGI, like... There's something to be said about practical effects.
Yeah.
Those 80s and 70s Star Wars films, because they were using puppets and practical sets, it just looks real.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think Force Awakens Last Jedi did a good job.
And I think I followed your comment last time we talked about it with, like, the first Spider-Man. You watch it now, and it's like, that looks like a little Spider-Man dildo stuck on the side of a building, just kind of like, you don't move right. Yeah. You're just kind of wiggling around.
I remember that. So I am excited to see it. It's another prequel film, and I think that's kind of cool, to be perfectly honest. Like, I'm excited to see this adventure. It's going to be an adventure, and I'm excited to walk in and just have fun in this universe.
Don't tell me the odds. Let's see it. All right.
Over under 50% that is said. That line.
Nobody tells me the odds? Or don't tell
tells me the odds, and in some derivative. Tell me the odds. Tells me you odds.
It's likely
that they'll say something like that. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's likely that there's going to be something that Han Solo said before that's going to be said in this one.
Yeah.
Kind of like in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Kind of shit. Where it's like, okay.
Yeah.
But I think that's the kind of point of the film. It's like, that's Han Solo. He doesn't change his personality. Yeah. If anything, he's the most stubborn person in the galaxy.
Yep, and I think we'll see how he gets that way. So before we cut off, I'm just going to, off the top of the dome, do a couple predictions. I'm going to do some basic ones, and then I'm going to do some far-fetched ones that I don't even know if I believe, but I want to happen. So, just off the top of my head. Okay. Easy one. Han is going to save Chewbacca from slavery as a cadet in the Imperial Navy, and that's why he's out of the Empire. So that's how he starts. That's how the movie's going to start. He's going to save Chewbacca that way. This is a
full-on prediction from you.
I'm just saying events. I'm not going to say how the film is going, but I'm going to say that absolutely happens in that exact context.
Okay.
Okay. 2. Emilia Clarke's character, Daenerys, is going to be the behind-the-scenes villain that is going to have been his high school crush that he always thought he ended up with. They do this mission together. That will be the twist.
It's kind of like a Bond villain.
Yes.
Or a Bond woman.
Exactly. Okay. Or like in Dark Knight Rises when he gets stabbed in the back by Bane's girlfriend, daughter of Ra's al Ghul.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like that. She's gonna be the reason that he swears off relationships. Hot. And she has the worst death scene in all of cinema.
In all of cinema.
Other than that movie's great, and I actually want to do a Batman ranking at some point.
I'm going to do that,
including all Batmans, not just Dark Knight. And so, I love that part. You know who that guy is? That's the bad guy from Rogue One. He's like, "Can we get some girls in here?"
Really?
Do you feel in charge? I love that scene.
Do you feel in charge?
I paid you, and that gives you power over me. I love that movie. I'm gonna rewatch it. Okay, now let's do some a little bit more outlandish ones. Obi-Wan Kenobi will be in this movie. Obi-Wan Kenobi, played by Ewan McGregor, will make a cameo in this movie, one way or another. I don't think he'll be major influence on the plot, but I think he will show up. I think he'll either run into Han, and they won't recognize who each other are, or he will. This is kind of in conflict with my just last prediction, but. Okay. Emilia Clarke will portray Han, but not as a bad guy. She's going to be a sleeper agent for the rebellion, and she will compromise their mission, which will be a heist. It's already been pretty much revealed that the plot of the movie is
a heist movie.
Yeah, it's not really Empire and rebels. It's just criminals trying to do a heist.
Yeah,
and I'm going to say that Emilia Clarke compromises their mission to do her mission, which is something to do as a spy for the rebellion. And she'll interact with Obi-Wan in some way. And the reason I'm saying that is because that's the love interest from the Han Solo film. She betrays Han and then joins the rebellion and leaves him. So, and I think Obi-Wan will be there. And the final prediction, Boba Fett will be in this movie in some capacity, and if he's not, that is a mistake.
I think you're probably going to be 100% right with Chewie being rescued by.
Yeah, that's my safest bet.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe one. My over under on that is a
90.
17.
Yeah.
17 overs on that one. And Robbie Cano had 7 cups of steroids for breakfast.
7. That's 7 liters in South America.
Yeah, no, it's 7 liters of steroids in South America.
7 liters of no bueno.
But Robbie Cano's not from South America, so.
Central America. Sorry.
Not even from
It's
Central
south
America.
of
It's
America.
from the Caribbean.
Where is that? Is that North America?
It's the Caribbean.
What continent?
The Caribbean. It's not a part of a continent. It's islands.
Every country is part of a continent.
That's not true.
I'm asking this right now.
The
Google.
islands of the Caribbean are not part of a continent. And at least I'm going by soccer, where it's CONCACAF, where it's North America, Central America, and the Caribbean.
Google says, what continent are the islands of the Caribbean in? North America. So I was wrong, but I'm also right.
Well, Google can go fuck itself. That's what I think.
Cora says, what continent is Jamaica on?
Oh, you know what? I bet if I go to Bing, it'll be like, it's no America! Whatever Google said, it's the ops. That's it. All right. Well,
Dusty Solo.
Can't think of solo pun. This duet. No, that's not going to work either. Anyway, I think that wraps it up.
You just got to go solo for your jokes.
Okay, we'll end there.